All right, we are live. We are live. All right, check, check, check. We are live. We are live. What's going on, everybody? Let me pull everything up so I can see
Yes.
who's here and who's not. We're getting all the
All messages
notifications.
already. Woo.
It we were supposed to go live earlier, um, but I was having issues with Facebook. Facebook actually, we got not flagged, but I was disabled for a little bit for making a lot of changes to a Facebook group.
Oh,
It
really?
was it was weird, but I mean everything's good. Everything's back on now. So we are streaming on my page. We are streaming in your page,
Yes.
and we are
Woohoo.
live right now in our group. Social Up. What's up?
Hello,
We got these. We
everybody.
got these cool shirts made.
Ooh, look at this. Look at
Ba-ba.
that. Boom, boom, boom,
We're
boom.
official. We're official, sort
We're
of.
official.
We're as official as official can be. Um, yeah. Look, there you go.
Hello,
So make sure you
everybody.
comment. We invited everybody out earlier today. Make sure you comment. Make sure you just join the live. We're just gonna have kind of a chill conversation today. Just wanted to talk about just a couple different things. Just kind of hanging out. It's Friday. It doesn't for me. It doesn't feel like a Friday.
It feels to me like a Friday.
It does it.
Yes, to me, feels like a Friday. Like I want to go get a pizza. I want to watch Netflix.
I'm cool with pizza.
I want ice cream. None of the healthy stuff.
None of the healthy stuff. All the healthy stuff is for the week, not for Friday. So
Jaime, hola Jaime, ¿cómo estás? Si Jaime is watching us, Jaime nos está viendo desde Chicago. Hola Jaime, ¿cómo estás?
hola, hola, bienvenidos al live. Fridays.
Aquí
Yeah,
hablamos
what do people normally do on Fridays? I know my Fridays are generally different.
bueno, yo lo que yo hago los viernes es am, me gusta ver las movies, me gusta comer pizza, me gusta quitarme los zapatos y andar descalza,
Mm.
me gusta pues eso así de fácil no, descansar más bien.
See, official like a ref with a whistle, or like a ref and a whistle. This is true. This is very true.
Official like a ref and a whistle. Oh my god.
Yes, very true. But
Yes.
yeah. So welcome to the broadcast, everybody. We're just kind of hanging out. We do want to talk about a couple things. Like I said, we are live in about 3 different areas right now. So what's up to everybody? Thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. And yeah, shout out to Social Up. If you guys are part of the group, you guys are watching us there. Hopefully, you'd be
Yes.
watching us there and not on our friends' pages. If you're already part of the group, you should be watching us there. I'm just saying. But yeah, Social Up, just to kind of plug it real quick. It's our group that we made for new creators or creators
Yes.
or people who are interested in content creation or starting their journey as a content creator. And we put this group together because we do a lot of these broadcasts, we do a lot of these podcasts, we do a lot of these just things online, and people are like, "How do you do this? How do you do that? How do you do this?" So we decided to create a community so we can help. We can help teach and show people.
Bueno, lo voy a decir un poquito en español. Este grupo lo que hicimos es para ayudar a la gente que está empezando a crear contenido, para empezar a hacer su Facebook, para empezar a hacer Instagram, para empezar todas estas plataformas que quieren usar y quieren empezar, no saben cómo hacerlo, pues este programa, aquí vamos a hablar y vamos a darle un poquito de plática y tips y consejos de cómo a
Consejos,
poder hacerle para que empiecen su grupo, para que empiecen a dar su mensaje. Y Jaime dice, felicidades, muy hermoso programa. Gracias, Jaime, gracias, muchas gracias. All right, compartan, por
So
favor.
yes, like, comment, share, jump in the chat, ask us questions, ask us. This whole thing is based around interaction. So let us know what's going on. Let us know what you guys are doing. Like I was saying earlier, what are you doing this Friday today instead of watching us? Well, we appreciate you watching us, but so we just wanted to talk about. We get a lot of comments, not comments. We get a lot of questions on. I always get kind of the same kind of comments, or I guess compliment at this point. It's like, hey, you go live all the time. You make it look so easy. Or I was like, man, you make it look so easy. Oh man, it's so easy. It looks super easy. It looks super like you guys make it look super chill. You guys, it's not. For me, it's not. I mean, I could do this 1,000 times and I'll still be like trying to figure it out. I don't think I'll ever get the hang of it.
Mucha gente sí nos pregunta, y nos comenta y nos dice, oye, ¿cómo le hacen ustedes que se ven tan tranquilos? ¿Cómo le hacen para no ponerse nerviosos, para poder hablar enfrente de la gente, enfrente de,
En
pues,
vivo,
en
huh?
vivo? Pues yo personalmente, yo todavía me pongo muy nerviosa, me
Sí, yo
pongo
también.
súper nerviosa y hay un botoncito rojo, no sé si lo puedan ver, pero hay un botoncito rojo que tú cliqueas eso y dice en vivo y cuando presionas ese en vivo, ¡pum!, estás en vivo. Y si dices algo o haces algo, no lo puedes borrar, a menos que borres todo el en vivo. Pero de eso vamos a hablar hoy. Y vamos a darte consejos, vamos a hablar de cosas que tú puedes usar, que te pueden ayudar para cuando tú estés dando tu en vivo, estés grabando ciertas cosas, pues eso te va a ayudar, te va a ayudar mucho.
It's true. There's a hold on, I'm trying to connect so I can see everybody's comments. Let's see. I'm opening social up, so if you're there, I'm gonna see you.
Yes.
So I will start with Mom. What are some things that you saw? So like for example, we'll use today's live, the live we're doing right now. This one's kind of a little more informal, a little more chill, a little more like less strict because I like to do kind of not. I like to do my broadcasts like a little more chill, a little more not like I need 30 million notes, but people who have notes they have a lot more they have a lot more structure, they know where they're going. So I mean,
Exactly.
what are some things you as a person who's very 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 structured, which I admire a lot, what are some things you do?
Algunas de las cosas que yo uso que me ayudan a mí cuando yo estoy haciendo un live, a couple of things that help me when I'm doing live is number one is know the subject. And es importante que tú conozcas, número uno, cosas que me ayudan a mí para hacer cuando hago live es conocer, saber de lo que voy a hablar. O sea, cuando tú sabes el tema, cuando tú conoces un tema, es más fácil tú platicarlo, sientes confianza, sabes cómo hacerlo, sabes qué decir, puedes contestar preguntas. When you know a subject, it's easier because you can ask questions, you can answer questions, you can talk about it, it's just easier because you're very
Right.
well versed, so you don't,
Yeah.
so the conversation flows easier. La
Right.
conversación fluye cuando tú sabes de lo que estás hablando, entiendes el tema. Entonces, para mí es bien importante es cuando yo
To
voy a
know your
hacer un
subject.
live,
Got you.
escoger un tema. You have to know, because si vas a decirle a la gente que esté pendiente a lo que tú vas a decir, tienes que ofrecerle una información, tienes que ofrecerle un tema de lo que tú sepas. If you expect people to sit down, to stop what they're doing,
And to
and give
watch you.
you,
Yeah.
and watch you, and give you a couple of minutes, you have to know the subject that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Bring some content, bring something to
Some
say,
value.
some value so value is so important. Is one of the most important things when you start an account, when you start any account, when you start any social media platform. What is your message? Are you selling a product? What is
Right.
why should I use that product? If it's about your company, why should I go with that company? What is so special about that company? If it's your personal message, what is your message? What am I getting from what you are saying? Y es bien importante que cuando tú tengas ese mensaje claro, porque la gente quiere saber si es tu compañía, qué es lo que vendes, qué es lo que haces, si es un producto, ¿para qué me sirve ese producto? Si es un mensaje, ¿qué recibo yo de tu mensaje cuando tú estás hablando?
Absolutely. Sorry, I'm making sure we're.
Ok, y entonces cuando es bien importante tener un tema y lo puedes escribir. Cuando, por ejemplo, miren,
Yeah.
aquí yo tengo mis notas. Y a veces parece, I know it looks like that we just sit down and we start talking and it's chill and it's really relaxed, but a veces nos sentamos como que estamos hablando, como que no tenemos, no, yo tengo un mapa, we have a map,
So
tenemos un
so I'll
mapa,
kind
I'm
of I'll
sorry, go
kind
ahead,
of yeah no because you're getting
because I get excited, you see, cuando yo
so
conozco el tema, puedes
I'll
hablar de
kind of
eso.
I'll kind of reiterate for those who for our non-Spanish speakers.
Yes, go ahead.
One of the main things that my mom was talking about is like when you start to go live, what makes it easier to go live is knowledge of the subject matter, like knowing your subject. You don't have to be an expert, but I'll agree with my mom. You have to have some kind of knowledge, or
Yes.
I would argue experience.
Yes.
Definitely experience, because at the end of the day, whenever you provide content, whenever you're online or whatever, whenever you're who is it? There's two main things that have value. Your value is either in education or your value is in entertainment. Those are the two things that really survive subject matter wise with videos. So are you teaching somebody something? Are you passing along knowledge, or are you entertaining somebody? And it's so true because I've fallen asleep to like hours and hours of Dungeons and Dragons videos, and that's providing entertainment. It's not
Y-
necessarily knowledge.
Correct. Es muy importante lo que le estaba diciendo en inglés, que cuando tú ofreces contenido, o enseñas algo o entretienes. Esas dos cosas son lo más que se ve, es lo más importante, es lo que busca la gente. O me entretienes o me enseñas algo.
And one of the things I would like to talk about too is kind of in that same thing of like, if you start a channel, if you start a social media presence, not even just a channel, like a group, for example, I'll use our group, I'll use Social Up as an example. We provide, our service is providing knowledge. We're passing along the knowledge. We're showing you how to do things. We're showing you how to create your online presence. We're showing you how to do those things. That's our value as a group. And that's why, you know, like, because at the end of the day, one of the main things, and one of the things that I struggled with when I started, is because we live in an era of the content creator. We live in an era of the social media influencer. You know, we live in an era of so many different people. Like, it's free to jump online and create content.
Sí.
So you have to ask yourself this question: why should somebody subscribe, or why should somebody follow you? Why should somebody follow you versus someone else? What value do you bring? What's the difference between you and someone else? What's the difference between you? Like, why should you have, for example, say I have 2.5 million followers to give you. What would you do with those 2.5 million followers?
Es que
How would you entertain them? How would you keep them engaged? How would you, how would you, if you had 2.5 million, you just see, yes, you can make a living off of it and all that stuff, but there's got to be more than just that. Like, what do you provide? Because it's one thing to have that many followers, it's another thing to keep that many followers.
And we go back to the same thing. You have to provide either education or entertainment.
Right.
And you go back to that. So whether I borrow your followers, or you tell me, hey, you know what, follow each other. Why should we follow you? Are you entertaining me, or are you educating me?
Right.
And then we go back to, you have to know your subject. That builds confidence. Cuando uno sabe, otra vez vuelvo, digo lo mismo, cuando conocemos el tema de lo que hablamos con confianza, se demuestra la confianza. And I want to say hi to everybody on Instagram.
What up, Instagram?
Y también tenemos que tener un mapa. We have to have a map. Yo lo decía anteriormente, we have a map de cómo empezar, qué queremos, los puntos que queremos hablar y a dónde vamos a ir. You know, what are we offering? What are we talking about? And how to end it. It's very important that you provide. You don't have to have everything structured, but you have to have at least a map of where you are headed, not step by step.
Right. So, and that's the thing. Like, I think something like having a map or having an outline, I think it lends itself. It's going to work differently for different platforms. You know what I mean? But there should be some kind of strategy, some kind of planning, some kind of strategy. Definitely, some kind of outline, some kind of map, some kind of direction that you want to take it. Because I personally know some creators that'll spend weeks on 1-2 minute TikTok, but it's a great TikTok.
It's a fantastic TikTok.
And then I know creators who will spend months, on one YouTube video, but I find myself watching that YouTube video multiple times, so every platform does work differently, but structuring your content is going to help so much. So that way it kind of, you're not, it saves you on a lot of the ums and uhs and like kind of that deer in the headlights. It keeps you from freezing up because you're just like, okay, I know I have to get to here, to here, to here, and then to finish. And then within that, it kind of helps you kind of bridge the gaps. You almost kind of, it's not like a 100% word for word script. I mean, you can do that. Like,
you can do that videos. Si quieres, palabra por palabra puedes diseñar lo que quieres decir, pero si vuelvo a lo mismo, si sabes el contenido, tú empiezas a hablar y fluye fácilmente. Fluye fácilmente.
And that's one of the things. That's another thing I kind of want to touch on too. Like, when it comes to your content creation, pick something you're good at. Pick something you're what does Pastor always say? Pick something you're good at, not something you're passionate about.
Yes.
Because you could have a passion for singing, but you can't hold a note in a bucket.
Yeah.
But you could be a really good heart surgeon.
Yes, it's true. It's true. It's true. Es bien, lo voy a decir en español porque merece que se diga en español, que el pastor de nosotros dice, que escoge un tema o haz algo que tú eres bueno en hacer eso, no algo que te apasione, porque tú puedes tener mucha pasión de cantar y no puedes cantar bien, pero sin embargo eres bueno haciendo cirugía en el corazón. Ese es más o menos lo que quiere decir.
And that's going to add value to your content. That's going to add 100% is going to add value to your content. It's going to give you, it's going to put you in a place where um people come to you, where people will come to you for your, it's kind of like, I like, sometimes I like to think about it like this: you create content so you don't constantly have to be keep you don't have to constantly give people advice in person.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, how do you do this? They're like, oh, yo, I made a video about that. Go check it out. So that
Yeah.
way they can go back to it at any time. So they don't have to call you at 2 or 3 in the morning. Like, hey, how do I do
How do you
this?
do that? Yep.
Yeah,
And
that's happened to me a lot.
that's one of the things that we're gonna have available in Social Up. There's gonna be a lot of content that we're gonna working on content. We're working on videos. We're working on different things that you can have that available. You can look at
At
it
any time, yeah,
at any time. Go in there
absolutely. So
and
we
see.
don't. It doesn't mess with your flow. It doesn't, because I know a lot of people who are like me personally. I'm a night owl. Like I don't exist to the world before 10 o'clock. Like I am good luck. If I'm up before 10 o'clock, that's because I stayed up all night from yesterday.
No, you'll see. I'm solar. The sun goes down. I'm going down.
I don't know how morning people do it.
I'm in the morning. I'm like, woo, woo, woo,
There's something
excited.
wrong with you guys. I
Yay.
can't.
No, no, no. We're just morning people. We love the morning. It's just like a brand new day, brand new opportunity to screw the day over. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. It's another opportunity. It's good. All right. So another thing that helps me and if you just joining us right now, we're talking about building confidence, or how do you get confident being on camera, doing it live. Because oh my god, for some people it's frightening. It's like they want to do it, they don't know how.
It's scary. To
It's
be fair, it's scary.
because well,
I think
and
it's.
this is
It's initially. I remember starting out. It's scary, but there's got to be something where you just kind of get over it.
you just got to do it. So we talked about knowing your subject. We talked about having a map, a start, beginning, and end. I mean, not a step by step or not word by word, but you have to have
Yeah.
some kind of map. And we talked about this. And then we also talked about something, a secret that helps me is I like to make TikToks before I go live, because when I do TikToks, it loosens me up. Like my energy starts flowing. I get excited. I move around. I think I put my mind together, my voice. I practice. So for me, doing TikToks before I go live, that's my
That's
zone.
your thing.
That's my thing. That helps me out immensely because I get loosened up when I do TikToks. I don't know what you do. You said you were doing. You
So
like to.
there's a lot of different things that I like to do personally. So like me, a lot of people will know that I do make a lot of music. There's, so one of my other side projects, I just release music by myself, just not to get famous, not to do whatever. I just make music. I mean, you hear me sometimes. I'll go for hours just messing with like music stuff, and that's kind of what helps me get over it. Like uh, I can distinctly remember when I had to get used to my voice over a microphone, because your brain for whatever reason, it's like your brain rejects the sound of your own voice, like over a recording, maybe not like live, but over a recording, like you're like, oh, that doesn't sound like me. Like if you've ever heard a recording of yourself, you're like, oh, that sounds weird, I don't know who that person is. And one of the things that I had to get used to was hearing myself as a recording. And then so one of the things that I do sometimes, like if I know I have a long project, um, I'll just sit down and cut a track, or I'll just make a beat or something. And it doesn't have to get that super creative, super ridiculous or complex. That's just something I like to do. I like to like create a track. I'll make a beat. I'll listen to the recording again. I'll do it over and over again, so I'll get that kind of like in production mode. Or one thing that I'll do is like if I'm driving to a gig or from a gig or coming back, for a broadcast, or if I'm about to go live somewhere else, I will blast music in my car, and I will pick tracks that I know almost word for word, and I'll have like one man karaoke.
Oh
I'll
my
have like
god.
one man karaoke of
Like
all
have a
kinds of
concert.
music, and I'll have a concert by myself. I'll be screaming Wu Tang on the way home and come talk about content creation. And that's one thing that gets me kind of like creative and kind of like flowing. But the thing is, for me, is like I don't want to think too much about it, because I'm already, you know what I mean? Like it should be something that I don't have to think too hard about it.
Yeah.
Because then if it becomes a chore, then you're kind of like stepping on your own creativity, and then that's what's going to inhibit the flow.
Yeah.
Because the flow is like a continue. That's why it's called flow. Like it's continually moving. It's like water, and so pick something that you can do almost without thinking. So like I remember like my dad, one thing that he would do to kind of like relax and kind of turn his brain off and get going was he used to iron a lot. You know, he would just iron his pants, he would iron his socks, he would iron his underwear, he would iron his shirts. You know, he
I
would
love too
just
much information, but yes,
yeah. Listen, my dad was crispy through and through. All right. And so that's just one thing that he did. You know, I remember he used to do that while he would like he would study to give sermons and preach. He would just kind of like relax, chill for a while, and just iron, just to think, just get clarity. And I think that's the whole purpose of like warming up to go live. Should be something that kind of like clears you from the rest of your day, so you get focused on what you got to do. And it sounds more intense than it actually is. Yes, going live is a very, I guess it can be a scary thing. It's hard, but once you get into the groove, you're in it.
Yeah,
Like for
absolutely.
all of you that have been
Yes.
here personally, it's funny because the same thing happens every time they come and they're like, "Oh, I don't know what to do.
No
Oh,
sé qué decir,
let me
no sé qué hacer, no sé qué.
let me fix my hair.
Let
Do I
me
look
see my
good?
hair,
Let me
see my
hit check.
hair.
Let me make sure. Let me make sure. And then 20 minutes into it, they
Oh
completely
yeah,
forget.
they forget
And
there's a
then
camera.
yeah,
They
you forget
forget
the
there's a
camera's there, and
mic.
then you're just in it. You're just in it, and you're flowing. And those are things that we like to do that try to get us into that flow, so that way we can just hit it and keep going.
Absolutely. Another thing that it helps, whatever is it that's going to work for you, that's what you need to do.
Yeah.
And you can, if it's warming up your voice, if you like to sing before you go live and warm up your voice, get the gallitos out. We call it the gallitos, but if you get the gallitos out, whatever you said, it helps you
Yeah.
warm your voice.
Mhm.
Like la, 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 all those exercises.
Red
Do
leather,
that.
yellow leather.
Oh, red leather, yellow leather.
Red leather, yellow leather.
Oh, okay.
Was it unique New York? Unique New York.
Also
That
another
one's
thing,
hard.
that's very, I don't know what the
Unique New York. I learned that. Shout out to the dogs having a dog.
Our dogs, and you hear our dogs are. That's what you. That's what happens when you go live. Unexpected things, and that's another thing you need to talk about. You need to be okay with not being perfect.
Yeah.
You need to be okay
yeah.
with not being perfect. So cuando vamos live, cuando hacemos algo en vivo, a veces las cosas no salen bien porque no puedes controlar los perros o alguien toca en la puerta, o se te cae una luz o tumbas el café, no encuentras el lápiz. Trata de preparar tus cosas, antes de empezar, pero hay veces que no, y si te pasa algo, pues ni modo, ríete, haz un chiste de eso y sigue caminando, sigue con tu live y
síguele,
sigue, just do it. Como si nada, tú sigue con lo que tienes que hacer. Hi everybody on Instagram. Entonces, tú sigue, tú sigue con tu live. Tu equipo. Tienes que asegurarte que tienes todo tu equipo. You have to make sure you have your equipment ready to go.
Absolutely. One thing I can't, as a tech guy, one thing I can't
emphasize
over explain is the ability to record with your equipment. If you can't record a 45-second video in the quality that you want before you go live, you shouldn't be going live. That's just something I've learned, me personally. Like if you can't have a stable video, if you can't record something of the quality that you want, right? Or the quality that you're capable of. Like I know full well what kind of quality I can get out of this equipment right now. And if I can't cut a video like that, 45 seconds before, like I'll test it about earliest, like I won't go any later than 45 minutes before we go live because there could be a tech issue. Like for example, today we had a tech issue. We said that we were going to go live at 7:17. As soon as I go live, there's an issue with Facebook.
Yeah.
There's an issue with, those are things that you can't control. So imagine if, and it's I can't speak to anything that hasn't happened to me before. Imagine you're ready to go live, right? As soon as you go live, microphone goes down, camera dies, camera doesn't do whatever. If you've been a part of our broadcasts for a while, you've seen a lot of those things where the camera will just blank out. You're like, hey guys, just hang on to the live. These are things that are preventable. These are things that And I can't tell you time and again, like there's a tool that we've been talking, like trying to come up with, and I got it coming out here pretty soon in the Social Up group. It's called a dummy list.
Yes,
A
that's very important. Talk about
a,
that
a
dummy
dummy
list.
list. Oh my god. So what a dummy list is something that I came up through my years of working in the church. So for the church, I would run the stream. I was in charge of camera mixing and I was doing a lot of the things. One of the things that I had was a list of things to check. What's up, Instagram? I had a list of things to check that were super simple, things that you wouldn't think of, things that were like, oh, well, yeah, duh. They're dumb things, right? But I couldn't tell you how many times those dumb things came to bite me in the butt because I didn't check them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Simple things like if you have a lot of power strips, make sure your power strips are on. Make sure everything's plugged in. Make sure nothing's hanging off of the wall, hanging out of the socket. Make sure every power cable is plugged in.
Yes.
Especially for things like a laptop where it has that brick in the middle because you have the power cable and what goes into your laptop, right?
Oh yeah,
Just
that
make sure
little
the thing
yeah.
is make sure the thing
Absolutely,
is
yeah.
together. Those little things, or like make sure all your cables are connected. Make sure all the power switches are on. Because a
Make
lot
sure
of
the Wi-Fi is working. You have the
yeah,
correct code.
make sure exactly. Make sure the Wi-Fi is on. Make sure you're connected to the right network. Make sure your camera's on. Make sure your camera's connected. Make sure your microphone's on. Make sure your microphones. Make sure your volume's up. Different things like that. And so
Yes,
those.
batteries.
Oh my God, batteries!
Batteries is an issue. I don't know why, but
You
things
wouldn't
happen. There's no
believe.
batteries, and oh my god.
You wouldn't believe, especially if you use a lot of things that have batteries. My God, you need to have that, and then so it'll help you in the long run with a lot of different things. Like those dummy lists really, 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 really help because what'll happen, right? And I can't tell you how many countless times I've gone through that dummy list, and I'm like, oh, oh my God, I'm glad I caught that because in the middle of service when everything's going on, I couldn't even imagine. So, like for example, there
Yeah.
was one time where because the dummy list covered more than just me. I would do the dummy list, and sometimes there would be issues where I didn't, somebody was just there to find them. And there was one time that we were rearranging a bunch of stuff, and we used to have battery packs that had 12 batteries because that's what the choir would use for microphones, right? There's one time two of them weren't plugged in, so if we ran a service that week, the choir wouldn't have had batteries. So that means the whole choir wouldn't have sang. Like little different things like that are things that you need to be checking. And those are things that are going to give you peace because you're going to be confident that nothing's going to fail while you're live. You're going to be confident that nothing's going to mess up on you while you're live. So you're going to not, tech issues are going to be less of a thing. So now you're confident in like, okay, everything that I say, everybody's going to be able to hear me. Everybody's going to be able to engage. Everybody's going to, the message is going to get across and it's going to give you so much peace. It's going to give you such just like, and it's funny because I think confidence is taking yourself out of the intensity of the moment, right? So like you can be so worried about going live that you get so wrapped up into your head about it and you don't see it for what it is. It's just a conversation. You're just bringing another person in.
Yeah, exactly. And usually when you go live, it's people that that have known you, that
Yeah.
you're going, hopefully, yeah, because if you're going live and you're going live on your personal page,
Yeah.
everybody's friends. So there shouldn't be that big of a deal. Just think about those things.
Yeah, and I'll take it a step further. If you're a content creator and you're going live to your community.
Exactly.
Those people are there because of something that you said that they like, that you did, that because of a piece of value that you gave them. I think people.
Hi, Georgina.
What
Hi,
up?
Georgina. She did a podcast with us. You need to check it out. Ella, Georgina, hizo un podcast con nosotros y estuvo bien bueno.
It was good. It was really good.
It was funny.
Yeah, it was. And so that's I forgot what I was saying. You'd like totally.
Oh, I'm so sorry. You see, this one happens live. So that's part of the confidence when you know that the equipment is ready, that everything is ready.
Yeah. Once, yeah. And this one of the bigger things, and it's like who's gonna ride a bike without checking the tires first? Riding a bike can be scary, but if you've ridden a bike a bunch of times, you're going to be less and less afraid of the bike. But you're still going to check your tires. You're still going to check your chain.
And you were talking about the community that's watching you.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's probably one of the bigger focuses of like, let your community take care of you. Just like you're gonna do everything you can to provide to your community, let them have faith in you. Have faith in your community, have faith in you. If that makes sense. And that's gonna relax you so much of just like, oh, I know these people. These people are they followed me because they like what I have to give. I think people give too much power to haters,
Yeah,
honestly.
absolutely.
And
And we need to talk about haters.
we can have like 7 podcasts on just haters.
Yes. Oh,
Like
see.
haters. And this is the thing, like I there was a thing I used to say, uh what is it? There was a thing I used to say when I was selling cars is because I sold Hyundais, right? And the thing
Yes.
about Hyundai is Hyundai
I'm making notes.
for Hyundai for many years was notoriously a very cheap brand, was a very disliked brand because they're like, oh, Hyundais are cheap, Hyundais are always breaking down, whatever. They had that reputation. So when I would go try to sell a Hyundai, it's like I had to prove to you why Hyundai wasn't trash and why you should spend $20,000 to $32,000 on a Hyundai. And so there's one thing that I used to say is I would rather deal with somebody who passionately hates my product than someone who's evenly mannered about it. Because if they have all that emotion, if they're really, really passionate, they're putting all that energy into it, then it's easier for me to take all that passion and flip it to the positive for what it is. Now, those aggressive haters become aggressive fans, and those are and it's funny because like I've done it before and I've seen it firsthand where you can take passionate haters and they become super fans
They do.
of the product.
They
It's
do.
crazy.
It works that
It's
way.
kind of hilarious because they're like, "Oh, this is trash. I'll never have one in my life. I'll never, blah, blah, never, 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 never." You show them for how great the product is. They're like, "Man, I spent so many years thinking that this was trash, and this is the greatest thing I've ever had."
There's a thin line between love and hate.
Yeah, yeah. It's all you have to do is figure out how to like teet them over the edge.
And let me talk a little bit about that as well. That you will always have haters in
Always.
everything you do. You need to be comfortable. There's people that are not going to like you.
Mhm.
There's not, but you know what? You need them. I'm not that you need them, but let me rephrase that. They weirdly enough help because those haters, they comment a lot.
Oh yeah.
They comment a lot, they watch a lot, they look for you. And so what happens is that the algorithm starts seeing that as activity. So it's
Yeah.
funny because all those haters, que está fea, que está esto, que está gorda, que esto, que lo otro, que aquello, que no me gusta lo que dice, and all those comments that they do, that they say, whatever,
It starts
it
driving your
it starts,
videos.
yeah,
Yeah.
it starts building like the algorithm says, hey, what's going on? There's activity over there. What's going on? What's happening? So it the algorithm follows the activity. It's like there's all these I always come like robots that look, where's the oh, there's activity over there, there's commenting, they're giving likes, they're, so it just follows that. So whether it can't tell whether if it's a good comment or a bad comment. The algorithm just sees activity,
Right. So
activity,
yeah,
activity,
and I want to
activity,
touch on that
activity.
because algorithms across most platforms are amoral. They don't see morals because it's
Correct.
software. It's
Correct.
software.
They
It's
don't
AI.
see, they just see activity.
They have parameters. So if they see a lot of if they see a lot of activity, then they're gonna push that video. They're gonna, like, for example, YouTube recommends videos based on activity. YouTube recommends based on amount. One of the biggest things right now for YouTube is time spent on the video, and I can't. And it's funny because haters are so into the details that they will watch the entire video to try
Yes.
to pick something apart.
Yes, that's even, you want to put that on the screen because it's funny because when somebody hates your video, they'll watch the whole thing. They'll watch and somebody likes your video, they just give you like a heart and that's it. But a hater, they will watch the whole video just to
They'll watch
hate
it
on
and not
you.
even like the video, which is
Yeah,
fine.
just to
Watch
hate
the whole
on you,
video.
just to hate on you, just to say whatever. So it is funny. I do. You need sometimes all those haters actually. Well, nobody likes haters for real, but it's funny how even that works out for your good.
What is it? Haters pay the bills.
Well, I don't want to say that,
Yeah, no,
but
no. So I'll put it in. I'll put it in the respect of, like, for example, YouTube. YouTube, in order for you to make AdSense, there's a couple of parameters that you have to meet. Right, you have to meet a certain amount of time, but YouTube is going to put more ads on your videos if you have a lot more engagement with your
Yes,
videos, right? So they have this thing, I forget the exact term, but it's time to watch, right? Which is a parameter for Google AdSense.
correct.
AdSense, as a creator, you enroll in to get a kickback from advertiser dollars that these advertisers spend with YouTube. So YouTube cuts you a check based upon how many people watch your videos and how much time they spend on the platform.
Whether it's not about who
It's
likes it or
just
not.
time spent watching.
That
That's
right
how
there,
they've
that's the
gotten
key.
around, because for a long time you can make a bunch of fake bots and drive your videos and basically cheat in the YouTube algorithm. Now, time spent on the videos where the trick is at. So it's
Yes,
funny because in a sense, the more haters that are watching your video trying to nitpick your videos, they're actually paying your bills in a sense, because you're getting kickback because there's more
correct.
time spent of them watching your videos. So, in a very real sense, haters pay the bills.
Yeah. It's all about them watching your videos and time spent watching those videos,
Absolutely.
watching that content, whether it doesn't pay you if they like it or not. It's how long do they stay? Engagement. Engaged. That's what they
What is it? It's like there was a YouTuber, I forget who it was, and he was like, if you guys like the video, make sure you guys like the video, make sure you guys engage. I love you guys, I love my community. And he would say, if you don't like my videos, send it to somebody who you think wouldn't like it too.
for real?
Yeah, I think he stopped saying it after a while, but he used to say, and then he used to say, like, if you like the video, like it. If you don't like the video, dislike it, because that also counts as engagement.
Oh my god. So
So
it's just
we got a comment from
Georgina, thank you for
Georgina.
commenting. Woohoo!
She's like, one do
When
the.
you do the right thing, you're going to have haters. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Even if you don't do the right things, and that's the thing. It's subjective, because not everyone's gonna like your content. So not everybody's gonna like the way we do social up.
No.
Not everybody's gonna like that we're giving a lot of this information away for free, or they can be like, oh, I could just watch a YouTube video. You can, absolutely,
Exactly.
absolutely, you can.
But that goes along with knowing who you are
Hmm.
and who you are going to speak to, who your niche is. And I had posted a little bit about that because we're talking about building confidence, and that's
Absolutely.
the whole main theme of this time that we're spending with you is talking about confidence. And we talked about knowing your stuff, knowing your I'm going to recap a little bit, know your
Yeah,
subject,
absolutely.
have a map, know where you're going, make a TikTok, whatever it is that you do daily that'll help you go live, that makes you confident. If it's touching wood before you go live, or making a TikTok.
Yeah.
Nano says he likes to hear music, whatever it is, red leather, practice those voice things,
Red leather, yellow leather.
test your
For all
equipment.
my theater kids,
Yeah, he talked about test your equipment, which
that
is
should be a rule, no matter what.
test your equipment,
Always
that
test your equipment.
make sure everything's working,
Yeah.
batteries, and have a dummy list like he talked about. And also, just practice, just do it.
Yeah.
And you have to know who you are speaking to, because you build your content for the people that are going to like you, the people that are listening to you, your group, your people, and they will know.
Yeah.
And they will follow you. And then whatever you build, your content that you create, they're going to love it because it's for them. It's what they want to hear. So they'll hear more. There'll be more engagement. You build your channel, then you start monetizing on that. And then, bigger things start happening because you're
Absolutely.
building your content for your niche. And if you don't know what niche is a place that you filled up. And this is, I'm really dumbing it down. For example, if you see a puzzle and there's a missing piece, that's called a niche.
Yeah.
There's a missing piece. So you have this puzzle, you have this content, you have this extra piece here, and it fits right there, and you fill it up. So when you become that piece, and you know that that's a piece that you are, anywhere that you see a puzzle, there's a piece missing, and you are that. You fill it. You fill that piece to make complete. So what happens is, for example, my niche, I know that one of my niches is women over 50, women over 50 that have gone through divorce, that have gone through cancer, that have gone through depression, that have overcome obstacles, that have been rebuilding your life. So if you are in that group, that's my niche. So when I make TikToks, when I talk, when I think about content that I recreate, I'm thinking about those people that are on my niche. I'm thinking about that woman that's over 50. I'm thinking about that woman that needs encouragement. I'm thinking about that person that going through cancer that needs today something that's going to help them, some encouragement, something funny. So
Yeah,
that's who I'm thinking. So what's going to happen? Those people are going to be start to be drawn to me and me to them. So what happens? I start
absolutely.
building a community
Yep. What is it? You find your tribe,
and I find my tribe.
and
So
it's
you
funny because it's
gotta
like your
find your
tribe. Your
tribe.
tribe finds you in a sense.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's really what it is, and they're not
Exactly.
going to be able to find you unless they hear you. You know, you're not gonna find your group. You're not gonna find your squad. You're gonna find your boys unless you put stuff out. There's a comment that Samantha said. She said they feel your fire sometimes,
Yeah.
and she was talking about haters. Absolutely, absolutely. Because it's kind of funny. I don't know if it sounds a little toxical. You're like, oh, you hate me? Watch what I'm about to do next. You're like, that's how I think
You
about it
feed that
sometimes.
toxicity. You're-
I wouldn't feel the toxicity, but it's just like, oh, okay, you don't like that? Watch this, dude. Watch this, dude. So it's kind of like a running joke between me and my brother because we'll play like me and my brother and then a lot of his homies will like as we're playing, and it's like a very dumb video game thing, but it's like, bro, I can't believe you just did this. I was like, oh yeah, watch this dude, and we'll do something dumb in the game. But it's funny because then it becomes this weird game of one upsmanship.
yeah.
But next thing that we know, little do we know, sometime after that, we've become so proficient mastering those engines and those systems that we've become above average players because we're doing it for the joke.
Absolutely.
And that's another thing I want to talk about, like in the later podcast, is doing it for the joke.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I'm a
Oh, that you've
that's
got to. There's
oh
things that you
that's
do.
it's
That's one of my. I just do it for the story. There's
yeah.
things that I say. That I'm just doing it for the story. I'm just doing it for the story.
Do it for the Vine if you remember Vine.
So you have to find your tribe, or your tribe will find you,
Yeah,
and you
it's
you
both.
build
I
this
think it's both.
community
Yeah,
of people that can relate to you, can
yeah.
relate to your message. They like what you have to say, they like your voice. And I was talking to Georgina about this. I don't know if she remembers that your personality, your vibe, she called it in Spanish your tone of voice. She used a word, now I can't remember, because your
Georgina,
tesitura.
Georgina,
I have it right
Georgina.
here
What did you
from the
say?
notes.
Oh,
But there's a tone in your
never
voice
mind. We got
that
it.
certain tones are drawn, people are drawn to that. Like the same way singers. Like there's singers that I can listen for a long time, and then there's singers that I hear their voice is just not for me.
Nails on a chalkboard.
Oh my God, yes.
Sorry, Harry
And
Styles.
then you hear other people like, oh, they sing so beautiful, and they follow that singer. Oh, the same thing with what you have to say. There's people that like your message. They want to hear you. They want to hear your advice. They
Like,
want to hear your experience.
like what
They
is it
want to
that
see.
that TikToker that you like? She drives me crazy, and I'm just like, ugh.
Woo!
I got some unresolved issues with it. But she's like, buenas.
Oh
I
yeah,
can't.
Chiqui Bonbon.
I can't. Oh my god, it stresses me out.
She
I'm just like,
does? For real?
because
She
I find
stresses you out?
it's annoying to me.
Why?
I'm just like, I don't know.
Her voice is her tone of
I
voice. Her
guess
pitch
it
is
just
her pitch,
I probably her pitch is just every. I'm just like,
and
ugh.
she's so famous. She has like
I
a
know.
million people. She
It's
has like over two
crazy.
million.
No, no,
I
I
know.
know. I know.
What is her? What does it know?
I
She's
don't know.
funny.
It's
She's
it's
really
just
funny, dude.
annoying. I know she's annoying. She's annoying. She's funny. I've seen some of her videos after I get past
She's
that. I'm like,
hilarious.
like,
Well, you can turn if you can turn the volume down, you
I
can see.
just I don't know what it is, but
But you see,
yeah,
you see,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
a perfect example. He does not like her. He's kind of a hater, but yeah, he knows
I'm a
who she
disgruntled
is.
supporter. I'm not a hater.
Disgruntled supporter. But you see, he knows a lot about her. You see, and that the haters know who
I've
you are
watched enough
too.
of her videos that she starts every video like that.
Yeah, when I'm fat, Chicky Boom Boom. That she's funny. She's
I
funny.
know
She's
she's funny. I'm
dude.
just like, I can't do it. I can't do it. But then that's how I feel about people like there was another one that I'm just like, the content's good. I don't like you. Who is it? I'll remember it right now. It's because there's the Buenas Chiqui Bonbon, and there's another one. I'm spacing out on it, but it's like for the same reason a lot of people don't like there's a lot of people that don't like uh Kevin Hart because his voice is really high and really shrilly and kind of like nasally, and so some people, I know people that don't like him, And I'm like, dude, he's funny. He's absolutely hilarious.
That,
Or
and
like Gilbert Gottfried, rest in peace. A lot of people don't like Gilbert Gottfried because
he died.
his voice is really yeah.
Isn't he? I know this is old school, but isn't he the del perico de Aladdin?
Yeah, he's Iago.
Iago.
Yeah,
He died.
yeah.
Pobrecito.
What do you mean, pobrecito? He doesn't have to pay bills anymore.
Pobrecito. I didn't know that. How come I didn't get a memo?
Did you want me to send you el perito de Aladdin se murió? El pajarito de Aladdin. Because I could be like Gilbert Gottfried and you'd be like, el pajarito de Aladdin? I was like, I mean, he's more than that, but yes. You mean the Aflac duck se murió? Yes, the Aflac duck se murió.
He does the voice for Affleck too?
Yeah, and you're like, Aflac! That's him. That's him.
For real?
Yes.
Who told you that?
What? Look it up. I'm a Gilbert Gottfried fan.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
He's absolutely hilarious. For the longest time,
his voice is annoying.
I'm gonna take control.
Espérate. Let's go back to that. He really is the duck for Affleck?
Yes.
El pajarito de Aladdin.
Yes. Iago. So Gilbert Gottfried.
You see, this what happens in the life too. You go.
I'm gonna take control of the podcast just to geek out about Gilbert Gottfried for a little bit because I love Gilbert Gottfried.
You start chasing squirrels, but that's okay. I mean, that's part of the thing.
So Gilbert Gottfried was Affleck.
I'm still mourning a little bit because el pajarito de Aladdin se murió.
He's more than the pajarito.
He was to me el pajarito de
God, that's funny.
Oh, ¿cómo se llama el bad guy in Aladdin?
Jafar. Jafar.
Ay, el pajarito de Aladdin.
So there is, and it's funny because Gilbert Gottfried. I think we were talking about this with it was on a podcast that I did. That we talked about it with Diana when she was here. Of like embrace the phase. For a little bit, we was off stream, but we're talking about embracing the phase as a creative person that sometimes a lot of people take on a second life because they move into a different phase. Gilbert Gottfried is one of those guys,
really,
because he didn't really make it as like a movie star actor, but he was an incredible voice actor.
Oh, incredible!
Because he has this. He's like for example, like a lot of people know Christopher Walken for his voice, other than just being an actor. So like you hear his voice, you're like, oh, that's. Gilbert Gottfried is one of those guys. So there's a service.
Oh, who you told me that was a great voice actor? I'm like, I didn't know he was a voice actor.
Oh yeah,
and the Star Wars. Yes,
Mark Hamill. So the guy for a lot of those people who don't know, Mark Hamill, the guy who played Luke Skywalker in the original trilogy, right, is a voice actor, an incredible voice actor. Probably one of the most famous voice actors of all time.
Really?
And it was because, and I kind of use that as an example, and I mean, we can talk about it too, is embracing the phase. You go through different phases of doing different things, and sometimes you just have to adjust. Much like going live, you're just going to have to adjust, keep moving it forward, because everyone who's going to support you is going to continue to support you.
Absolutely.
Phases are important. And I was talking to that. I was talking with Diana and Nico in a podcast that we did about that. So Mark Hamill, the guy who was Luke Skywalker, famous for being Luke Skywalker, could not find acting gigs after Star Wars
because he was typecast.
He was typecast.
Yeah, he was typecast.
You're like, you can't play the bad boy or whatever because you're just like this. Because in Star Wars, he was like the naive farmer kid, from space. That's all they knew him as, Luke Skywalker. That's it. You can only be Luke Skywalker. That's it. Time goes on, he's an actor, he's trying to get gigs, he does some TV show stuff. Next thing you know, around the 90s, he becomes a voice actor. And if you remember, in the 90s, that's when they did Batman the animated series. Yeah. Right? You remember that because we watched it as kids.
Absolutely.
So he's actually the voice for the Joker.
Really?
One of the most iconic Jokers, probably the baseline for all Batman properties ever. He's the Joker. He does the Joker. That Joker that redefined so many Jokers, that defined every other Joker in all the movies, with arguably the I am vengeance, I'm the night Batman. That came from the animated series. Those voice actors, and it's funny, there's this whole argument that those voice actors set the precedent for all of the Batman stories. That's true. Because you think Batman, the original, everyone thinks of that. But Mark Hamill is one of those voices. So the thing is, if you pay attention to relate it back to the podcast and what we're actually talking about,
which is confidence while you're doing it live,
is have the more confidence you have, the more you're going to trust yourself to create content.
And people will
No
follow
matter, and
you.
people will follow you.
Your tribe will find you.
And that's the thing. Don't worry. Have the confidence that your content's going to speak for itself,
Yes.
right? So, for example, think about Mark Hamill. If Mark Hamill stopped and never did the voice for the Joker, he would have lost out on millions and
Wow.
priceless, like probably hundreds of millions, to be honest, because
Wow.
he's the Joker.
Yeah.
Like, he set the tone for every other Joker. All his whole legacy is for that actor. He went on to do so many different voices and so many different things that it's just because he was like, and you can watch his there's documentaries about it and stuff too, like about voice acting, where they
Yeah.
talk to him about it, and he's just like, I just did it. He's like, I just did it. He's like, I just had confidence one day and I just went up and did it. And he defined literally a whole generation
Wow.
of, because he had confidence enough to just keep doing it. And that's the thing. Your confidence will take you places that you didn't know you could go. And arguably, you will find better success in those things than what you did before. And that's another podcast for another time once we get there, that, your phases will take you more places. Your confidence will take you other places. And that's the thing. Having confidence to just go live is such an important skill because you can build upon that. Once you have the confidence to go live on Facebook a
Yes.
couple times, then you'll have the confidence to create a bunch of videos, long form content. Then you become a reputable influencer. Once you become an influencer, then you can, whatever your goals are. If your goals are to build your business, to further enhance your business as a content creator, all those sales will come in, and next thing you know, you'll have clients you've never met before, but they've seen everything that you've done. I can personally attest to that. I think I've sold 4 cars because of my internet influence. And those are people that had never met me, but they saw stuff that I would post, videos that I would post, and they were like, hey, I saw this and I thought it was pretty cool. We liked it, whatever. Cool. Thank you for coming.
One of the things that you have to be, and also in respect of being confident on camera, being confident on speaking in front of people, is that you have to, if you want to have success, you have to be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be yourself. Authenticity, especially maybe in other arenas, is not. It depends on what event you're speaking at, but at least I know that in TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of that, you need, the key is when you are genuine, when you are
Mm-hmm.
original, when you are yourself. If you try to imitate somebody, it shows. It shows
Yeah.
that you're fake. It's like, she's trying too hard, or she looks like so and so. And it's okay to take tips from other people. That's okay. That's perfectly fine to take tips from other people.
Yeah.
But as you start practicing, but eventually we want to see you. I want to meet you. I want to hear about you. And it's so easy to be you.
Oh
It's
my God.
difficult
Yes.
to
It's
imitate
so.
somebody else. It's so difficult to imitate somebody else because that'll last you a couple of months. But in the long run, you need to be yourself, sound like you, say who you are. And we talked about the haters. Don't worry about that. They're belong to another tribe. But people that are assigned to you, that is your tribe, they will find you. They will like your voice. They will find you. So you need to be yourself, because then you're confident because you are yourself.
Yeah, you're confident because you're not lying.
Exactly. There you go. You're not lying. You're not faking it. So you're not all nervous and awkward. No, you are yourself, and you talk the way you talk. You are the way you are. You express your way you are. Like, I tend to sometimes speak in Spanish and English, and I mix things and I
Pues
say my own.
así es
Y
la
digo
vida.
lo mismo, lo digo mismo en inglés que en español, y mezclo las cosas y invento palabras. Bueno, and last, and that's one of the last points, is that you have to practice.
Yep.
Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. You're so afraid. Everything that you are afraid of, people don't even thinking about that.
Yeah.
You're so afraid, and it's paralyzing. That fear that you have, I have a message, I have a business, I want to talk about this, but your fear is paralyzing you. It's stopping you from going after what you need or what you want, or your next step, because that fear of, what are they going to say? What are they going to do? No, I am telling you, if they're not paying your rent, if they're not signing your check, If they are not putting food in your refrigerator, if they're not putting gas in your car, if they're not supporting you in any shape or way or form, don't worry about it. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it. Don't worry about it. Because there is a job that you want to do. Because this is all going back to that content creator. If you are somebody that wants to create content for your page, for your business, for whatever, stop being so fearful. Just go out there and do it. Get I'm not perfect. That's okay. We don't want perfect. We don't like perfect. I'm gonna tell you something. People are sick of perfect.
Oh,
People are
100%.
tired of perfect. They want genuine. They want real. They want somebody that can
Yeah.
relate.
Yeah.
If you have your life perfect, 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 what's going to end up happening is that we're not interested because we can't
You're
live up
boring.
to
You're
that.
perfectly boring.
No, we can't live up to that. We can't live up to
It's true.
perfect. Nobody can live up to perfect.
It's true.
Nobody. But when you show who you are and it's relaxing and will, that's good. So you have to practice. You have to stop being so fearful and just do it. Your first life is going to be horrible. Your second life is going to be horrible.
Yeah.
Your third, your fourth, your fifth, your sixth life is going to be horrible. But that's okay because you're building practice. You're building your flow. You're being confident on
You're
camera.
exercising the muscle.
You're
Yeah.
exercising. You made some mistakes and you lived.
Yeah.
You made some mistakes and you lived. Nobody died. Nobody died. Nobody probably your first life nobody's died and you're okay. You survived.
Yeah.
Go back and erase them and you made better ones.
No, don't erase them. Don't erase them. You need to remember. You need to remember where you came from.
Yeah, and then you can compare how better you're gonna get. I look at some of the lives, some very very first lives that I've done. Oh my God, just meal. I was just like, oh Lord, have mercy.
What was I
And we're
doing?
still making mistakes. We're still making mistakes.
Yeah, like all those dogs.
Like all those
The
dogs
quiet
over there,
dogs.
they need to. But all those things, like lighting. I made mistakes with lighting. I made mistakes with sound. Oh my Jesus. But anyways, all of that you learn. You just gotta do it. You gotta practice it. You gotta do it. And then you'll get better at it. You'll buy better equipment. You'll buy a better microphone, better lighting. You'll be more
You'll join social
well
up and
versed.
become better content creators.
Yes, you'll be better. All that good stuff. So, and with that, we're gonna leave you. That was our not lesson, kind of like lesson or chit chat for
That was our
today.
TED Talk. Thank you for joining us. So no, I mean, just to kind of recap everything that we kind of talked about as we close out. Um, Again, we just talked about confidence because we get it all the time. Like, you guys make it look so easy, and we're just giving you our experiences that helped us. So hopefully, you can take some of those strategies and apply them to yourselves because everyone's different. So we talked about know your subject. Hopefully, you pick a niche that you have some kind of experience. The experience. You don't have to be an expert, right? But have a lot of have experience. Talk about your story because that's the thing. At the end of the day, that we're just sharing stories with each other and we're passing along knowledge, right? So know your subject, have some kind of experience, make a map, whatever works for you. If you got to write notes in your phone, if you got to write notes like on your Google Docs, if you got to write them down, kind of have an idea of what you're going to talk about in that video, in that live. Warm yourself up. Whether like for my mom, that's making TikToks. That's how she warms up. She kind of gets into the groove of things, gets the juices flowing by making a couple TikToks. Someone like me, I'll just record a track real quick and I'll just like yell in a microphone for like 10, 15 minutes. Or as I'm driving home, I'll just have my own personal one-man karaoke concert. And that kind of gets my, juices flowing too, because that warms me up. I'm in the zone. I'm ready to go. So I can jump online and just kind of do what I need to do. Next thing that we also had suggested is, and it's one thing that I think we need to reiterate as our lessons go on, is test your equipment. If you're comfortable with your equipment and everything's working properly, that gives you a sense of confidence of like nothing's gonna fail while I'm live. And then we talked about um, just doing it. Don't be afraid, just do it. Just do it, just do it, because no one starts with 1 million followers, no one starts with 10 million eyes on them, you know. And then practice just by doing it. Those kind of go hand in hand. Just do it so you can practice.
Just do it. Just do it.
Just do it. Do it. Sponsor us, Nike.
Comment
Do it.
below. Please comment below anything that you liked, anything that resonates with you. Comment below. We want to hear it. We're gonna answer the questions. We're gonna comment back at all your comments. Please share. Please share. Please share.
Sorry, you were away from the microphone.
I was away from the mic.
So make sure you comment, make sure you follow. If you're not a part of the Social Up group and you have one of our personal friends on our personal pages, join the group. It's free. Learn something.
Free. It's
We're going to be
gratis.
teaching you. We're going to be teaching you how we do all this. What is it? Yesterday, I believe, or the day before yesterday, I uploaded a video showing exactly what we use to what we use
Not
to
rocket
go live.
science.
It's not
rocket
it's
science.
literally just
Easy.
plug the thing into the thing and turn it on. That's it. Like that's the trick of going live. But
plug it in.
Just plug it in.
Plug it in. All right. Our producer is getting antsy.
So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for being with the lives. Make sure you like, make sure you comment. Let us know if you have any questions, and if you're not part of Social Up, don't forget to Social Up, join the group, and we will be more than happy to have you guys. All right, peace out. Good night. Let's go get nachos.
Yeah, sounds good. Woo!